Now that we've got our continuing technical difficulties fixed for this time,
Sorry, Rob.
yes, we are recording
Yes, we are recording. I see the
this
record.
time.
All right, we start intro. I'm Linnell, and he's my brother from another mother.
I'm Rob, and she's my sister from the same mister. Hello, Linnell,
Hello, Rob.
and welcome to episode 6. I can't believe we
Oh
finally
my
got
God.
past episode 5. We only
Look,
tried 3 or 4 different times to get episode 5 done.
if people only knew, and like,
How
and the good
dumb I
shit.
am.
No. Because look, I could have seen myself doing that, but if they only knew how much good shit we recorded and laughter, and then you say to me, "Yeah, I
Oh,
wasn't
shit.
recording," I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we've lost some prime content there.
Hey, fuck it. We're having fun.
Well, our last meeting went well. I thought our last recording did pretty good because we were face to face. You probably haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
No, I haven't, but I'm excited to. I'm sure it's good.
It's better than all the ones I didn't get to post. There we are.
There
So
we
we
are.
had a lot of fun this weekend.
Oh my God. I think everybody did. I was like, it made me feel so good because, I love to be the chaos coordinator. And I love it when a plan comes together and everybody is having a great time and they're complimenting what we're doing. And I think we all are on board on this St. Patty's celebration.
Oh, yeah. Of course, Enos and I had never met Kathy before.
I hadn't
I,
either.
you hadn't met her before either.
I've
Okay.
seen her in passing at work when I was working there, but
Right.
yeah, I had not really had any conversation until that day.
Okay. No, I mean she fit right
Yeah,
in, and Kimberly was there, so it was 6 of us walking around. And for me, things like
yeah,
that are always better if you're in a not a huge group, but a group of people that, you don't have to, you're not focused on just one person the whole time. You can
right.
move around and
Yeah.
talk to other people.
Or as a host, which I always feel like I'm a host to everybody, like, spread myself thin because I wanna make sure I'm talking to everybody and everybody's mingling and having a good time, but I thought with that even number, everybody paired off really well. It was a
And
good group.
and there wasn't any awkward, or
No,
there
just
wasn't
drunken
any two people
fun.
who obviously didn't like each other. Just drunken
Yeah,
revelry, and
yeah.
it was a perfect
That was
day
a
for it.
fun event. Oh god. Have we ever had a day like that for a St. Patrick's
Never
celebration?
We have never had a combination of sun and warmish weather. If we have
Right.
sun, it's 40 degrees. If it's
And
if
wind
it's
blowing
above,
and
yeah, if it's above 50, it's raining. So
yes.
it was the perfect combination. I think it hovered in the 60s most of the day. Not too
Yeah, and
cold
that
to make it uncomfortable to stand outside, and not too warm that if you had to move around like climbing up a big hill to get back to your
oh god.
cars.
Who knew that town was built on such a hill everywhere you went? I was like, I did not realize this till I'm walking it, that everywhere is a hill.
Well, I think like Robbie pointed out, it's in the name, Mount.
True, mount. Yeah.
But
And a mounting we did do.
they need a good nickname that warns you of it. Like Lynchburg is Hill City, and it is. There's a lot of
Yeah,
hills
see,
in
that's
Lynchburg.
more in your face. If you tell me mount, I'm not really sure what mount means. You want me to get on a horse and ride? I don't know what mount is, you know?
Robbie's back there
Hill, I
nodding his head.
understand hill or whatever.
Or
Yeah,
Mount
right.
whatever. Well, and that's why we've decided that the perfect nickname, because Wednesday does not have a nickname yet, on a nationally recognized nickname yet. So we feel like
Okay.
Wednesday has to have its own nickname. So, we look at Wednesday as being the middle of the week. So you've gotten over the hill. So we call it, what do we call it? Hill
Hill
Day.
day.
Hill Day.
Yeah,
And that's the perfect,
which
I
is
mean,
obvious.
obvious. I mean, people still look at me kind of funny, but it's going to catch on. Hill Day will catch on
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just
for
like
sure.
this podcast.
Yeah.
God
Eventually.
damn it, get more than 4 people on here.
But yeah, we had a great time at the pub crawl, the St. Patrick's Day weekend pub crawl.
Yeah.
Really fun time. We went to, so where was the first place we went to?
So it consisted of 6 stops or bars-ish things. So the
Yeah,
first place was Alley Cat, which I loved.
that had a really neat atmosphere. I mean, it was kind
Oh,
of a large cavernous seating area. The bar was up in the
yeah,
corner. I felt like it was the perfect positioning for the bar so that it's
yeah,
out of the way but easy to get to.
out of the way.
I feel like they could use a couple of pool tables there, but that's me. I mean, and this was,
Right,
and maybe they do have pool tables there, but they moved them because they knew there was going to be live music there later and stuff like
right.
that. But yeah,
True.
that was honestly, I would say, other than the burger company, and we'll get to that because that's where we had lunch. I was really needing
Mhm.
lunch by that time, but I'd say the Alley Cat's probably my favorite place overall.
Yeah, and they're in the basement of Old Town, which was the wine bar that we
Right.
also went to after that. I enjoyed that too. We walked around, they had a little gift shop.
I like the
Um,
shirts and some of the slogans they had on their
I did
tchotchkes.
too.
What was
Yeah,
the one I pointed
yeah,
out that was perfect for you? I'm not, what was that? I'm not a hot mess. I'm a spicy catastrophe or something like that.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
funny.
perfect for you. And
It
then
was good.
when we walked around and we found that almost like dining area with all of that antique furniture, that was kind of neat.
I did like that. It's spacious. I like how everybody can spread out and go to different rooms and
Hmm.
mingle, and they had 2 different bars set up in 2 different rooms, so not everybody was, like, waiting in a long line at one bar.
Exactly. And I agreed with what Kimberly said when she said that it's nice to sit in there and look at the stuff, but no way would I want to have that in my house. I am not an antique person. I mean, I'm
No.
an antique.
Yes. You are an antique person, but we don't really care for the antique furniture.
Yeah,
But you
not to
looked
own it
good sitting
myself.
on it. You
I
looked
fit.
good as an antique person sitting on it.
It suited me, is what you're saying.
It suited you. It was like you blended right in with the couch,
Almost
the
like I
settee,
disappeared.
as they would call
The
it. Yeah.
settee.
No, and then from there, we walked down the hill
I guess
to we were hungry.
Living Proof.
Everybody was hungry.
We went to Living Proof first, though, because we thought about eating there at Living Proof.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
the
made like a walkthrough.
challenges. The challenges. We got
Oh,
to talk about the
uh,
challenges. So
so each
at
club had a challenge.
and we had to complete 6 of them in order to
Yeah.
win yet another glass that nobody needed.
No,
But
nobody but
it's
this one's special.
yeah, it's a special glass, just like all the other glasses we don't. But okay, so the alley cat, I thought that was the funniest one because the what was the alley cat's?
They wanted you to spell Guinness backwards.
And we're all sitting there going, give it F,
Oh.
F. And then Robbie stands up and he's like, I'm wearing the fucking shirt. His
Yeah,
shirt
I've got
had
Guinness
Guinness on
on
it.
my
So then we were all geniuses. SSENNIUG. I'm going to
and then
memorize that for next year.
we were loaning him and his shirt out to others as the teams came in. They would, like, "Here he is." Spell your heart away.
Still think we should have charged that.
But now I felt like 3 of those 6 bar hops, crawls, whatever, 3 of them phoned it in because it was take a selfie and then tag us on social media. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Really? I do this all the time."
Yeah, there should have been more stuff like that, or like well, let's see, Living Proof, that was another one that we had to tag
Oh,
some. Oh
yeah.
no, no, no. At Living Proof we had
Yeah.
to read the Irish saying from a book that they gave.
Yeah, and they picked out what they wanted you to read. You had to introduce yourself like on a karaoke machine and
Yeah.
then read it aloud. And you could
And
read
then
it in a pair or a group or whatever.
say Solange or Cilantro,
Yeah.
whichever.
Or cilantro or well, I could never figure that out, so
That was an okay one. I thought that challenge was
that was
okay.
okay. I thought
And
so.
then their beer, honestly, Living Proof's beer was just kind of meh. I mean,
I know.
it's a nice
We'll have to
place, but
come back and do,
it's
like maybe get you a, flight to see if you like anything other than what you had that day.
well, I had the Irish Red when we went up there the second time, and that was all
Okay.
right. that was all right, but it was too late. And I'd had too many other beers to be having an Irish red at that point. It was just too
Yeah.
heavy to end the day on. But that was nice. And then we went down from there. We went down that long hill, which going downhill wasn't bad. And we
No.
went to the Rocky Mount Burger Company.
Yep.
Their
They
challenge,
had, they had a challenge.
and that was hitting the ping pong ball off of the backstop and into a cup. But the
Right.
gal who was looking at ours was like, "It's too busy. I don't care. Just give me your your card and I'll sign it. I'll stamp it."
Exactly. I mean,
But
they were packed.
we
They
got
were the most
lucky though.
popular eatery.
We got really lucky because from there we had to go upstairs for the what was the distillery?
Twin Creek
Twin
Distillery.
Twin Creek Distillery. We had to go upstairs for that because the Twin Creek facility wasn't open, so they set up shop upstairs
Right.
from in the burger company's place.
Right. So
So
the burger company has a barrel room upstairs, and every month or so, they have like a tasting of different whiskeys. And they usually sell out when they do that.
I
And
bet.
so Twin Creeks put their drinks for the day because their new location is not open yet.
So they were another one of those social media challenges, which come on. And they
Yeah.
weren't really, I mean, they were okay with one person from the group doing it and then just citing everybody's. I don't think they really cared
Yeah.
at that point. But we got really lucky because there was a few people ahead of us when we got up there. So we
Yeah.
had to wait a few minutes. But by the time we were done and heading back downstairs, the line was back all the way down the stairs and back into the
God.
burger company place. And then we got a table immediately for lunch. Now they were still
Yes.
crowded, so we had to wait a while before we got our lunch, but we had a table immediately. We weren't standing around waiting for somebody to leave so that we could snatch their table up.
And then they were, I guess, I'm assuming they were the first Rocky Mount Burger Company was the first participant or starting point for us to grab a beer to go. So you could get your on the
Right.
way out the door, you can get like a $5 beer and walk around town with your beer to the next place, which
Right.
was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really feel the need to do that at any of the other places, but that was,
Right.
leaving Rocky Mount, that did seem like the burger company, that did seem like the right time to do that. And then, so that was five, and then the last one was
Anastasia's.
Anastasia. Okay. And
Like
they
a
were another,
speakeasy.
and they were another one of the social media places. So
Yeah. And they were kind of cool inside. It was very small and crowded,
it was crowded
but
when we first went there. It was crowded, but then we left and
yeah,
went over to that neat little
old school.
old school. Well,
Uh-huh.
because I thought it was old school, as one would, and
Yeah.
that's what they're going on. But it was old school, and that wasn't a cool little place. It had a lot of neat things in there. Nothing that I was going to buy, but it was cool to look at.
Well,
Back
it was
to
very
Anna's,
nostalgic from all of our childhood. It had our childhood toys and collectibles, and then in the back is like a huge vinyl collection, So it was a cool, and they had a good little crowd walking around in there and buying things. So it was a good little pit stop.
yeah, just
Yep.
a way to take like a break from the drinking because by that time I'd had 5 or 6
Yeah.
beers, I think. So it was a good little break
Yeah.
and a nice little walk. Well, actually, I guess before we went to Old School, Robbie and I had to take the glasses up.
Oh, yeah, you got to walk back up the hill to
So
the
we went
parking
all the
lot.
way up that hill to where our cars were, put the glasses aside, then came back down, and then we went to Old School. And then from there, we went back to Anastasia and actually had a drink there because at first we just finished the challenge so that we could get that
Yeah,
done
we
and
were
get our
like, "Let's just get
glasses.
the challenge over with."
Get
Yeah.
this shit.
Get that shit over with. And then we had a drink there, or maybe some of us did, I don't know, and then we walked back up the hill to Living Proof Brewery. Ooh, those hills, man.
Yeah, those were some hills. Yeah, I'd say of all of the places, definitely the Alley Cat was number one in my book. And
Kathy is sending me a text now.
we'll tell her she's being featured on the next episode of the podcast.
I will.
But yeah, I like Kathy. She just seemed to fit right in. She joked around with people and didn't take it personally when people joked around with her a little bit.
No, she fit right in. Like, hey, you cannot take any of this shit personal with us. We will bust your chops in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Oh God, especially when we went on about her age.
And then it turned out I'm 2 months older than her. Or no, I'm 2 days or 3
2 days.
3 days older than her.
Yeah. Well, somebody's
I
gotta be
mean,
the oldest.
yeah, and I didn't think she was older than me, but she kept talking like she was, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm 59. She said, well, I'm 59. And I'm like, oh, my birthday's in August. Well, my birthday's in August.
Then you're like, "At the same time, we're gonna say what day in August."
That
So
was
wait,
fun.
you're going to be 59 though, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be 59
Yeah.
this year, and she's going to be 59 this year.
Holy shit, but next year you're gonna be
You
60,
shut it.
Rob.
Shut. No, no, no.
Oh, you're not going
Yes.
there? You're
Oh,
not going to 60?
nah.
You're gonna
I
die?
hope I do. No, I hope I make it to 60.
God
But
almighty.
Lordy,
That is
time
crazy.
flies.
I know. I feel like I've known you since you were born, but I haven't.
Well,
I
you
boss
couldn't
you
have anyway
around
because
like
I'm so
I
much
have.
older. Yeah, you boss me around like you're 20 years older than me. You will do what I say. It's
Damn, I
just,
cannot believe we're getting old like that.
well, yeah, it happens to all of us eventually.
Whew, I know. Billy gave me this big stack of photos before he left that I guess were his mom's, and maybe he doesn't want them. And I'm like, when you go to school, you get a sheet or 12 of your
Oh God.
picture, and he give them all back to me. And then some of them were when Sarah was a baby, and so I've been taking pictures of the pictures and then sending them to Sarah, and I know she's just like, "Fuck, dude, stop." I'm in that era of,
Nostalgia.
nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah. Come
The
back.
older you get.
Oh, I remember this.
I know. She was, like, in a little sailor dress and had a little red bow, and I was like, "Oh, man." I mean, she was like a baby. Do you find yourself doing that, though, now that you're getting older?
Not really, not that much. It's probably
No?
different for women than it is for men anyway. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I've never really been much for sentimentality for things like that, I guess. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
clearly,
you don't even like birthday cards for Christ's sake, but I
or
still
Chris
do it anyway.
or Christmas cards. Now, the Christmas card thing, when we moved, because we moved in September of 2020, we moved into the new house. And then just with everything that was going on with that, with doing work around the yard, because the yard was in terrible shape and I had to get that up, and just things that we had to do at the house and all the, working and all of that. By the first week or second week of December, I'm like, we haven't sent out Christmas cards because I had a list and I'd send them out before.
Yeah.
And I just, you know what? I don't even feel like doing it this year. And so we didn't do it. And we got a few Christmas cards. And if I happened to see the people online or something like that that had sent them or whenever, I'd say thanks for the card. And then when the next year, 2021, rolled around and it was coming up on time and we'd have to start thinking about doing the cards, Enos was like, are we going to do cards this year? And I'm like, you know what? Let's don't. And she said,
Yeah, it's
okay.
liberating.
It is. We get fewer cards, and that's fine by me because I don't hold on to cards. If I do get cards, I'm like, oh, thank you. And then when the person's not
Right.
there, I just throw them away. I don't save them or anything. I've
We
never
are so
had.
the opposite.
Are we
I
really
can remember
related?
I know. Are we really? I can remember, like, having this big, deep Hieronymus box.
Oh
You remember
God.
Hieronymus?
Yeah.
Like, gift box, and I would keep it under my bed, and I would throw all the birthday cards in there. Like, this is through, being a child, like, where I could think of keeping shit on my own,
Yeah.
preteen, teen, whatever. Oh, yeah, I kept all those
Were,
cards.
were there ever desperate times where you pulled the box out, desperately going through the cards, hoping to find a $10 bill or something in there?
No, but damn, I should have. I never thought of that. And then, back in the day, people would send you cards. This was my organization of addresses. I would rip the corner of their envelope off that had their address and put it like in maybe in a baggie. And every year I'd be struggling to find that fucking baggie with all those addresses to make Christmas cards, send out.
Now, that was a
Yeah.
big part of every Christmas. Mom would pull out the decorations that we would use and stuff, and they were in boxes like everybody does, and we'd dig through
Oh,
them and
yeah.
we'd find the shoe box full of cards, and The only good thing is it was always the same cards. Mom never put the next year's cards in them. I guess by that time she'd just gotten fed up with trying to save all of them.
Right.
And there was a bunch of old pictures in there from Christmases past, primarily when mom and dad were still pretty young, just married, probably not weighed down by having kids. And it was kind of neat. We'd look through those, and I guess even then, after a while, it's like, wait a minute, this is all the same stuff. Why are we looking at all the same stuff again? But
We do
mom had
this
a
every year, Mom.
but mom had a lot of the cool decorations. Like she had some of the original Coca-Cola Santa stuff, the first things that had
Oh,
come
dang.
around because her parents had gotten it when they were young, and
Right.
they just held on to it for decades.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And she always had that damn bathroom set. A toilet cover, the tank cover, the toilet seat cover. And it's like, I do not want a knitted toilet seat cover under my butt when I'm trying to drop a deuce. What the hell? This is
Hey,
nasty.
Santa. Yeah.
Ooh, you got a mustache. You got a dirty
Oh, God, yeah.
Sanchez.
Yeah. I think every parent had that shit.
And the tissue box cover to class up
Oh, God.
your box of Kleenex. You got to class up them
Yeah,
Kleenex.
class it up. Yeah, we had it for, like, Christmas and for Easter and,
We didn't. Christmas was the only holiday that we had specific decorations for. I mean,
Really?
we would celebrate Easter and Thanksgiving and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but we didn't have boxes of decorations for each of those. It was just Christmas. I mean,
Yeah, we
Easter
didn't
was a
really have, boxes per se, but mom might throw up a wreath or, something springy, maybe with a bunny in it or some shit or, something,
yeah,
but we didn't have, like, the decoration boxes for Christmas stored, yeah,
yeah. I mean,
and
all
mom
the
loved to paint the Christmas trees. We've had, like, a white tree, we've had the silver where you had to have that disco thing that glowed on it, supposedly you weren't supposed to put any lights on it because it was burn it down, you know?
so you had to have lights shining on it instead of actually put lights on it.
Yeah, shit.
We would get live trees every once in a while.
Yeah,
Well, actually, I guess
same.
through most of my childhood, I guess we were probably getting live trees every year. And some years
We
that
were getting them if I was going and chopping it down in the woods, then we got one.
we did that a couple of times, I'm sure we trespassed to get a tree, but
Oh, yeah,
usually we would just go to a tree lot and get one. But so if mom was with my stepfather, if they weren't squabbling and separated at that point, we would get a real tree and we'd usually get it like the first week of December. But if mom
yeah.
wasn't with him and she was in her dour mood and
Yeah, like, "Fuck it,
fuck
put up
fuck
whatever you want."
everything. I mean, there were times we got it like 3 days before Christmas, and it's like,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
took so goddamn long.
I
Why did we
know.
wait so
My
long?
mom was notorious for that. I always thought, like, she tried to say, "Well, it's a tradition. You don't put it up till Christmas Eve." Looking back, we probably didn't have the money until Christmas Eve to get a tree, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, she
Yeah.
probably was like, "God, where am I gonna get a tree from?" Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the holidays, like 4th of July, that's a 1 day holiday.
Yeah.
Halloween is basically a 1 day holiday, unless it comes like if Halloween is in the middle of the week, then you might
Aren't
either
they
have the
all
weekend
one-day
before.
holidays?
Well, are they? Thanksgiving is
And
the whole
why
week
do we dedicate so much to Thanksgiving? Why?
because there's so much food.
That's the reason.
And you get two
I
days
like
off from
that better
you.
than what I thought you might say.
We get the 2 days off from work, and really 3 days that you're supposed to be at work. Nobody's fucking working, so it's basically a
No, but
week long. That's a week long holiday as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
But Christmas is
yeah.
basically the whole month of December.
Oh, yeah,
There's just so much going on. You're doing everything Christmas related for the whole month before. Every weekend it
yeah,
seems like there's a party or a Christmas related shopping
something.
or
Yeah,
event that you got to do. So
lights or yeah.
that one just lasts
We really
forever.
got off on the Christmas shit on this episode, from St. Patty's to Christmas.
There will
I'm fine
likely
with
be
it.
some editing.
Okay.
I mean,
You
maybe not
edit
edit
where
all of that, but there will be. I saw some parts as we were doing them, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to edit that out because there was long
yeah,
pauses. We're already in the
okay,
part now where I'm going to be cutting all of this off at the end until we do our outro. So let's do
yeah,
our outro now, or our part of it
okay,
now, where we say, I guess that's all we have for you this time.
okay. What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you feel.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
That's perfect. That's fine. I'll cut all the other
Yeah.
stuff out and it'll go from what I said to what you said.
And remember, it doesn't cost anything to follow us, people.
You don't even have to listen to us. Just follow.
You don't even, that's what I want to, don't even have to listen to us.
Although you should, because we're funny as hell.
Although you should, yeah, for sure.
That's all we have for you this time.
We want to hear your stories, especially those of you who have siblings you've discovered later in life, like us.
Send email to linnellandrob@gmail.com. That email address will appear in the podcast episode's description, and we'll read all your emails over the air.